Good morning, children. In previous class, we saw about Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, how the Rajya Sabha functions, how the Lok Sabha functions, what are the qualifications, disqualifications, everything we saw in the previous lesson. So now we are going to see today, we are going to see about important matters in the Parliament. Important matters in the Parliament. So first one is agenda. What is the first one? Agenda. See, the list of items which are placed for discussion in the House is called agenda. So today, on which matters we are going to discuss? Understand? That one is known as agenda. Okay, so first one, today we are going to discuss about the budget, today we are going to discuss about the financial matters, today we are going to discuss about the educational matters. So like that, what they are going to discuss in the Lok Sabha, that they prepare a list. That list is called as agenda. Everything goes on in a planned manner. Okay, so the written list which they are going to discuss in the Lok Sabha on that day, that list is called as agenda. Okay. Second one, president address. So what he will do after that, before going to see, on the eve of the budget meeting starts with the president's speech and he addresses both the houses, because the budget is very, very important. When the budget bill is going to introduce in the house, both the houses will present there. So before going to present the budget, president addresses both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And the president's speech is prepared and approved by the central cabinet. Understand what they are going to discuss, that it is prepared by the central cabinet and it is approved by the central cabinet also. Okay. In his speech, he presents the achievements and targets of the government. That budget year, what are the achievements, what are the targets, that he discusses in his speech. Okay. Once again, see, presidential address. Okay, on the eve of the budget, only before going to introduce the budget bill, then he speaks. Okay, what the budget meeting starts with the presidential speech and president's speech, and he addresses both the houses. Parliament, in Parliament, both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, he addresses both the houses. Okay, and the president's speech is prepared and approved by the central cabinet. Understand? Who will prepare it? Central cabinet prepares it and approved by the central cabinet. Okay. In his speech, he presents the achievements and targets of the government in a coming budget year. What are their targets? What they have to achieve? Okay. What are the lapses they have to overcome? Everything they discusses in this budget. Okay. He says to all the persons in this speech. Okay. Third one, question hour. What is the third one? Question hour. In both the houses of the parliament, first hour is allotted to question hour. Usually, the parliament starts at 11 o'clock. Usually, the parliament starts at 11 o'clock. So, in the morning, the members, by giving a notice to the president office, can ask questions. Understand? Presiding, first they have to give notice to the presiding officer that they are going to ask about the questions on the so and so matter, so and so bill. They have to inform the presiding officer, then they can ask questions on that. Understand? Before going to start that, understand, by giving notice to the presiding officer can ask questions pertaining to public issues. On which matters they can ask questions? On public issues they can ask questions, or the administrative inefficiency they can ask, or about the role of the government they can ask the questions. Okay. See once again, both the houses of the parliament, the first hour is allotted to the question hour. So naturally, the parliament commences at 11 o'clock. The parliament starts at 11 o'clock. So at 11 o'clock, the ministers who are going to ask the questions, they have to inform to the presiding officer that they are going to ask the questions about so and so questions. In which matters they can ask the questions? They can ask the questions in the public issues, okay, and administrative inefficiency, or about the role of the government, they can ask the questions. So these questions are of three types. What are they? Starred questions, unstarred questions and short notice questions. How many types of questions are there? Three types of questions are there. Starred questions, unstarred questions and short notice questions. Okay. Next one is 0 hour. What is that? 0 hour. So after completing the question hour, the time starts immediately and till end of the agenda. The meantime, the gap of this 0 hour to agenda, this time gap is known as 0 hour. This time gap is known as 0 hour. See, 0 hour starts immediately after the question hour. After completing the question hour, the time starts. That time is known as 0 hour. And last until the agenda for the day is taken up. Till the agenda takes up, the middle time is called as 0 hour. The time gap between the question hour and the agenda is known as 0 hour. During this time, without any prior notice, understand, in 0 hour, without any prior notice, they no need to give any prior notice. The members can seek a classification on any issue. They can ask any question on this. Okay, once again you see what are the important matters in the parliament. First one is agenda. Agenda means what they are going to discuss in the parliament, that issues. Preparing a list is called as agenda. President address. Before he is going to start the budget, the president addresses both the houses and he tells in his speech about the developments, his achievements and targets of the government to that budget year. That is known as presidential address. Next one is a question hour. In both the houses, the parliament it starts at 11 o'clock. So it is before going to start at 11 o'clock, they can ask questions on public issues, administrative inefficiency and about the role of the government. They can ask the questions. So that hour is known as, before they are going to ask the questions, they have to submit the questions to the presiding officer. So that is known as a question hour. These questions are of three types: starred questions, unstarred questions and short notice questions. And fourth one is a 0 hour. So 0 hour starts after completing immediately of the question hour. So question hour to still the agenda starts. This middle time is called as 0 hour. And in this 0 hour, any person can ask without any prior notice. They can ask any question. Okay, classification of any time. So this is known as 0 hour. The fifth one is starred questions. It requires an oral answer and hence supplementary questions can follow. See here in question hour I told you that they can ask questions. Here starred questions means no need to give those questions in a written form. They can ask orally. Okay. It requires, means a starred question requires an oral answer and hence according to, they will ask orally question and they give the answer also orally. So after that the questions can follow. So one after one they can ask continuously the questions in this. They are marked with a star for special recognition by the presiding officer. The presiding officer marks these questions as star questions. These are called as star questions because these are recognized as special questions. These are recognized as a special questions. Okay. The minister concerned gives oral reply to these questions. They will ask the questions also in oral and the presiding officers gives the answer also oral. So these are called as only oral questions. Per day they can ask only 20 questions. Okay. Only 20 starred questions are allowed a day. Only 20 questions they can ask per a day. Okay. Once again, this starred questions means the people they are asked oral questions and the presiding officer gives the answer also orally. Okay. So these are marked with star. So these are called as special. These questions have special recognition. Okay. So the minister concerned gives the answer also orally. So per day they can ask only 20 questions. Okay, next one is unstarred questions. What is the next one? Unstarred questions. The minister concerned gives written replies. Previous one is only oral. Here unstarred questions means it gives answer in a written replies. Okay. So there is no scope for supplementary questions. They cannot ask any more questions. Okay. And questions which are public interest issues come under this category. They discusses only very important questions in this. What is that? Public interest issues they discusses in these questions. Okay. And maximum 230 unstarred questions are allowed a day. Per a day, how many questions they allow? 230 questions they can allow. See once again, unstarred questions means the reply must give in a written answer. Okay. And these are discusses only about the public interest issues. Okay. And there is no scope to ask any supplementary questions. Maximum 230 questions, unstarred questions are allowed per a day. Next one is a short notice question. What is the next one? Short notice question. Questions on most important public issues comes under this category. Most important questions they will ask in this category. Okay, which are related to the public issues. Okay, these questions are asked by giving notice of less than 10 days. A short notice 10 days before they have to give the notice that they are going to discuss on so and so matters. Okay, and these are answered orally. These questions also they give answer orally. Once again, short notice questions. Okay, questions on most important public issues they will ask here. Okay, these questions are asked by giving prior notice of 10 days and the answer is given only in oral. Okay, next one is point of order. What is the next one? Point of order. A member can raise a point of order when the proceedings of the house do not follow the normal rules of procedure. There will be some rules and regulations while the proceedings are going on. So if they are not going in a proper manner, they are not going with the rules and regulations, any question, any person can ask they can raise a question in that. Okay. So it is usually raised by an opposition party. Naturally, the opposition party members raises these questions. Okay, and in order to control the government, the opposition party raises this. Okay, with the prior permission of the speaker, any member can raise a point of order in the house if the rules and regulations are not going in proper manner. If any disturbances is there. So any person, not only the opposition party, any member can raise this point of order. Once again, see point of order. A member can raise a point of order when the proceedings of the house do not follow the normal rules of procedure. If the normal rules procedure is not going on, so they ask the questions. It is usually raised by an opposition member. Naturally, opposition member raises this point of order. Not to control the government. With the prior permission they have to take, to raise a point of order they have to take permission of speaker, and any member can raise a point of order. Once again, see what are they? Standard questions and oral supplementary and oral answers can require it, and supplementary questions can follow, and they are marked with the star because they are special recognition by the presiding officer. The minister concerned gives only oral answers. Per day only 20 questions they can ask. Okay, that is a starred question. Unstarred questions. The minister concerned gives written replies. The minister concerned gives written replies. So these are no scope to ask any supplementary questions. Okay, these questions are only which are related to most public interest issues come under this category. Maximum 230 questions are allowed per a day. Okay, next one is short notice questions. Questions on most important public issues they discuss come under into this category. These questions are asked by giving notice of 10 days prior. These are answered orally. Next one is point of order. Okay, if the procedure is not going in a proper manner, if it is not going with the rules and regulations, any person, naturally it was raised by point of order raised by the opposition party. If not only opposition party, with the with the permission of the speaker, any member of the parliament can raise this point of order. Adjournment motion. It is present in the parliament to draw attention of the house to the definite matters of urgent public importance. So, if any important public importance, very important matter is there, to draw all the people's attention towards it, this is this adjournment, introduces this adjournment motion. Okay. It needs the support of 50 members, at least they are going to introduce this, then the adjournment needs 50 persons support. Okay. The discussion on this should not last less than 2 hours and 30 minutes. So, on this matter, adjournment, they have to discuss at least 2.5 hours in parliament. How many hours they have to discuss about this? 2.5 hours they have to discuss about this. Okay. It should introduce by giving in a writing to the speaker, the concerned minister and secretary general of parliament before 10 a.m. on the day. Before they are going to introduce this adjournment motion, they have to inform to speaker. Understand, they have to inform written information. Understand, they have to give written form to the speaker and concerned minister and secretary general of the parliament before 10 a.m. Before 10 a.m. Once again, say adjournment motion. It is it discusses, it is to draw the attention of the members on a important matter, public important matter. Okay, it needs at least 50 members support. Okay, and it should discuss in Lok Sabha for 2.5 hours. Okay, and they have to give prayer notice, written prayer notice to the speaker and concerned minister and secretary general before 10 a.m. on the day. Okay, next one is confidence motion. What is that? Confidence motion. If no party gets majority, the president appoints prime minister and union cabinet ministers on his wish. So, after that, understand, they have to get the confidence. Confidence motion is introduced by the party in the power if it is defeated in Lok Sabha. If it was defeated in the Lok Sabha, prime minister and total cabinet should resign collectively. That is known as collective responsibility. It is known as collective responsibility. Once again, see, if no party gets majority in the house, if any party did not get the majority in the house, the president can appoint the PM and his cabinet by using his discretion. He will appoint a prime minister and union ministers according to his wish. Okay, and later they may be asked to seek a vote of the confidence in parliament. Later they have to put a confidence. Okay, they have to get the votes on the confidence. Okay, and confidence motion is introduced by the party in the power if it is defeated in the Lok Sabha. Who will introduce this no confidence motion? The party who is there in the ruling, that puts the confidence motion. If they did not get sufficient confidence, okay, if it is defeated in Lok Sabha, the prime minister and total cabinet should resign collectively. Prime minister along with the cabinet ministers, he has to resign. This is only known as collective responsibility. This is known as collective responsibility. Next one is no confidence motion. What is the next one? This is confidence motion. This is no confidence motion. According to Article 75 of the Constitution, no confidence motion can be present in the Parliament when the cabinet behaves in an irresponsible manner. If this was discussed in Article 75, this was introduced in the Parliament when the cabinet behaves in an irresponsible manner, if it is not behaving in a correct manner. Okay, if the ruling party does not enjoy the majority, no confidence motion is introduced by the opposition parties. Naturally, this who will introduce this no confidence motion? Opposition party introduces this no confidence motion. Okay, through written notice supported by at least 50 members. This is also produced written and it must support by at least 50 members. There will be discussion and voting on this. First they will discuss it and they will vote on this no confidence motion. If the no confidence motion passed or approved in the House, the cabinet has to resign. If no confidence motion has approved, so all the cabinet, union cabinet must resign. This is also known as collective responsibility. Once again see, according to the article 75 of the constitution, no confidence motion can be presented in the parliament. Where they will present this? In parliament. When the cabinet behaves in an irresponsible manner, if the ruling party does not enjoy majority, no confidence motion is introduced by opposition party. Who will introduce this? Opposition party. Through written notice. How they will produce it? Through written notice supported by 50 members. There will be discussion and voting on this. There will be discussion and voting on this. If no confidence motion is approved or passed, okay, the cabinet must resign. Once again you see, adjournment motion. If the it is present in the parliament to draw the attention of the house to a definite matter of urgent public importance. Understand? Urgent public importance. Okay, it needs support of 50 members. The discussion on this should not less than 2 hours 30 minutes. They have to discuss on this matter for not less than 2.5 hours. It should introduce us by giving it in writing to the speaker, the concerned minister and the secretary general of the parliamentary before 10 a.m. on that day. This adjournment motion should produce, okay, before 10 a.m. to the speaker, concerned minister and secretary general of parliament. Okay, next one is confidence motion. If no party gets majority in the house, okay, the president can appoint the PM and his cabinet by using his discretion. If no party gets a majority, as his wish, president will appoint the prime minister and cabinet ministers. Later, they may be asked to seek the vote of confidence in the parliament. Later, they have to get the confidence from the members. Okay, and the prime minister and the total, if confidence motion is introduced in the parliament in the power, if it is defeated in Lok Sabha, that confidence motion bill was defeated in Lok Sabha, the prime minister and total cabinet ministers must resign collectively. All they have to resign collectively. Okay. Next, no confidence motion. According to the Article 75 of Constitution, no confidence motion can present in the parliament when the cabinet behaves in an irresponsible manner. When the cabinet behaves in an irresponsible manner. Naturally, this is introduced by the opposition parties. Okay, and this is also must be in a written manner and it was supported by at least 50 members. There will be discussion and voting on this, and if the no confidence motion passed or approved, the house of the cabinet has to resign. The house of the cabinet has to resign. Okay. Censure motion. This motion is introduced when the members are dissatisfied with the performance of the ministers or when allegation of corruption, misuse of power or misgovernance are levelled against a minister. This motion is passed when a minister was identified that he is misusing his power or he was corrupted or he was misgoverning or he was against any allegation. Then they introduces this censure motion. Okay. Once again, censure motion. This motion is introduced when the members are dissatisfied with the performance of any minister. If they are not satisfied with the behavior, with the working of any minister, they introduces this. Understand? If the minister is corrupted or misuses of his power or misgovernance, then they introduces this censure motion. Next one was cut motion. What's the next one? Cut motion. During the budget session, in the process of voting of demands, opposition members may forward a resolution to reduce the allotment of funds for 1 to 100 rupees. The opposition party members can ask to reduce the funds from 1 to 100 rupees to certain categories. Okay, these are all of 3 cut motions. What is that one? First one is policy cut motion. Second one is token cut motion. Third one is economy cut motion. Once again see, during the budget session, in the process of voting of demand, opposition members may forward a resolution. Who will introduce this? The opposition persons introduces this resolution to reduce the allotment of funds from rupees 1 to 100, okay, to certain categories. These are all of 3 type of cut motions. That is, first one is a policy cut motion, token cut motion, and economy cut motion. Next one is adjournment or sign die. Adjournment or sign die. Adjournment means postpone. Adjournment means postpone. Postponing the proceedings of the house without mentioning the time is called sign die. So the court will adjourn for 1 hour, 2 hours, like that, without mentioning the time period. If they postpone the assembly, that is known as sign die. It is known as sign die. The power to adjourn sign die is with the speaker. Who will adjourn this? Speaker. Who will conduct the proceedings of the Lok Sabha? Speaker. So he has the power to sign die or adjournment. After adjourning sign die, the speaker has right to summon the house. Again, he calls them. Understand? He has the right to call them back. Okay, this is known as adjournment sign die. See, postponing the proceedings of the house without mentioning the time is called without mentioning the time. If it is so much disturbed in the assembly, or sometimes we can see there in TVs or somewhere else. So the speaker adjourns the assembly. Okay, the power of adjourning sign die is only with the speaker. Only speaker can adjourn the assembly. And after adjourning a sign die, the speaker has right to summon the house. Again, he can call back them. Okay, this is about adjournment sign die. Prorogue. What is the next one? Prorogue. The presiding officer declares the house adjourned sign die when the business of the session is completed without the next few days. So, a prorogue means postponing for a long time. You can easily understand it. Postponing the assembly for a long time is known as prorogue. This type only this can do only by governor in the state legislative assembly and president in Lok Sabha. Only these 2 persons has to proclaim this prorogue. No other person have right to, because for a long time, and again they have to call back them. Okay. After prorogue, the summoning of the house is necessary. The president or the governor has to give order. When it is going to start giving order, this starting the prorogue is also there in the hands of the president or governor. Once again see, censure motion. Okay, this motion is introduced when the members are dissatisfied with the performance of the minister, or when allegation of corruption, misuse of power, or misgovernance are leveled against a minister. Understand? If a minister is not working in a proper manner, if he is not performing his duties in proper manner, if he is corrupted, or if he is misusing his power or misgovernance, then they introduces this. This is known as censure motion. Next one was a cut motion. During the budget session, in the process voting of demands, opposition party may forward a resolution to reduce the allotment of funds from 1 to 10. The opposition parties, when they introduces the budget, the opposition parties asks to reduce 1 to 10 rupees for allocation of the funds. Okay, so these are all of 3 types. What are those? Cut motions are policy cut motion, token cut motion, and economy cut motion. What are they? Policy cut motion, token cut motion, and economy cut motion. Next one was adjournment sign die. Postponing the procedures of a house without mentioning the time is called sign die. This power to adjourn is there only with the speaker. After adjourning signed it, the speaker has right to summon the house again. Next one was prorogue. The presiding officer declares the house adjourned signed when the business of the session is completed within the next few days. If it was postponed for so many days, not for hours together, days together. Okay, that is known as prorogue. Okay, a long period. Okay, postponing the assembly for a long time is known as prorogue. Okay, the president issues a notification for prorogation of the parliament session. This is formally declared by the president or the government. In Lok Sabha, it was informed by president. In state legislative assembly, governor. So after prorogue, the summoning of the house is necessary. The president or the governor has to give order. Again, when they are going to start, the order also must be given by the president or the governor. Okay.